Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. It's August 2nd, 2023. It's around 1:30 in the afternoon, and it is very balmy here. It was like 60 degrees when I woke up this morning, which was really nice. And these little creatures are following me, thinking that I have more food. I'm just the food lady. That's all I am. I'm only the food lady. So they already had their snack for today. What their snack consists of is I get a big bowl and I fill it with all kinds of grains, oatmeal, raw oatmeal. I sprinkle diatomaceous earth in it, sometimes brewer's yeast or nutritional yeast. I'll add some raisins and nuts. And I cook hard-boiled eggs, and I actually give them some hard-boiled eggs all chopped up, and they love it. They give me so many eggs, so why not give some back to them? So that was their snack this morning. They had that already. But I want to address some issues. But before I do, please hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you subscribe, please remember to hit the notifications bell so that you're aware of when I post a video. It really helps the channel grow and get the message out there. So, okay, first things first. I'm sure this happens to you guys, and I heard on a recent podcast or video that Anna Toledo from Targeted Justice mentioned that some of her writings or documents were altered and not by her. This happens repeatedly. It's happened with me. It happened when I first moved here. I had left my computer on. I'm going to call it a computer, a PC, versus the laptop. And I wrote an extremely long document that was asked of me to do. I am a prolific saver. Literally, after almost every sentence or paragraph, I'm saving the document. So it's not that I forgot to save it or didn't create the document. It was already saved. It already had a place on the C drive. And I had to step away for a while, maybe half an hour. When I went back, it was gone. It was nowhere. It was deleted. It was not even in the trash bin. It was completely deleted. And this happened to me recently. I called Capital One, and I'm going to do another video on this about the AVG virus, antivirus software, which is associated with I forget the name of it, dry something. I'll go into it in another video because I need to warn you about this company, how fraudulent they are. But I have been battling to get my $105.99 back because I never renewed with them. And they automatically resubscribed me 45 days before the end of my cancellation. So anyway, I called Capital One, and they sent me an email with a link to attach my supporting documents. I couldn't get to it that day. It was too busy. I went back the next day, yesterday. It was gone. It was nowhere. Wasn't in my trash bin. I searched for it. In fact, all of my mail from the day that I had placed that call was gone. It was July 31st. I think it was July 31st. I had no mail from July 31st. It was all deleted from my inbox. Sometime today, and this usually happens, folks. It usually happens when I'm in the nonprofit building there, the cat building, and I'll be vacuuming, and there's a criminal on my property. You know, they take 8-hour shifts or whatever. So I'm in there vacuuming. I come back, I go to check on the babies again, the guineas, and that Lavendar guinea is gone. When I left her, she was sitting under a hen. When I returned, that hen was displaced, was somewhere else, and that baby chick was gone. Now, most people will say, oh, well, yeah, baby chicks will go under another hen. That's true, and then I've got other hens in there laying on eggs and stuff. That baby is nowhere. And when a baby gets lost in a coop, or let's say it were to fall out accidentally. You would hear it. It chirps. And that's how I'm able to find them if they get lost, like in a corner of the coop or behind a, behind something or under the wrong bird or whatever. They chirp. And they chirp incessantly when they're lost. So there's no denying that there's a bird there. So this bird's gone. I'm going to tell you a quick story. When I lived in Manalapan, New Jersey, 52 Sutton Drive, where I lived in a home for 30 years as the original owner, and became targeted by the feral cat cartel in the Manalapan Police Department, criminals. Yeah. I had rescued 3 adorable orange kittens. They were so cute. And I got them spayed and neutered and vaccinated and all that stuff. And I brought them into my house. And they were 3 sisters and they slept together a lot. They were so adorable. And I named them Cherry, Lotus, and Venus. Because they were such beautiful little girls. I wanted to give them beautiful little girly names. An opportunity became available to submit a photo, an animal photo. And you would win, I don't know, you'd win some money or win something. I don't remember because it was a while ago. But at the time, these 3 little girls were just under a year and a half old. And I submitted the photo of the 3 of them. It was absolutely adorable. I mean, even if they didn't win, it might get a runner-up photo. After I submitted that, the next day, they killed Cherry. That's right, folks, a year and a half old cat, Cherry. They killed her at 52 Sutton Drive in Manalapan. This is what they do. So I posted that video of that beautiful little Lavendar Guinea that was 2 days old, and it's a short. You can view it. So today, somebody stole it. It's gone. It's not here. When I opened up the coop this morning, and this is what the criminals do. They like to torment and taunt their victims. You know, that's what a predator does. That's what psychopaths do. They like to taunt and prod their victims. It's a psychological operation. That hook, the hooks that were missing inside here that I posted on my video, one was left right here on the floor. Smack in front, just the way they left my mother's wedding ring 20 days later after I reported it missing. But not both of them. Only one of the hooks was found right here. So they stole it. They let me know that they stole it and then returned it. It's almost like it's a game they play where they want to make you look crazy. They want to make it appear as if you forgot something. I was never forgetful about anything in my life until I became targeted and tormented and tortured by this program. I was a human resources manager, and then I had my own staffing business. And I had to review hundreds and hundreds of resumes every week. I had to remember people's first and last names, where they lived, and what they did for a living, and what their key features were. And then this program intercepts all of that. So they want to make it appear as if you're not remembering. Oh, you left it outside. Oh, you did this. These are psychopaths, sick people. This is a program designed to take you down. Don't forget that, folks. So anyway, I want to also mention every day. This is no matter what day of the week it is. I've got Wi-Fi extenders here on the property, and I can pretty much walk all the way to the outfield and get YouTube and Twitter and everything and speak on the phone. But every day, when I walk out for the first time, walking to my fence, my gate to open it up, every day, I get to a certain point and they will automatically, and I have my phone with me, so I'll be watching a YouTube video, listening to someone. And it happened today too. I'll get to a certain point, like right around, I'll show you, right around here. I'll get to a certain point and then suddenly I have no internet. Right about here. Right about here. And it will last like that until I get to my mailbox, and then when I walk, and then it'll start up again, and as soon as I walk back to around here, it does the exact same thing. What this tells me is that, you know, when you're under constant surveillance 24/7 by the psychopaths, you know, because they've got nothing better to do with their sorry lives than to watch mine and sabotage it, what they do is there's somebody knowing that I'm going to my mailbox. This is like, oh, the coast is clear. She's going to be gone. We can go do something nasty, you know, like steal a bird or steal something or damage something. Because, you know, it takes me a few minutes to get there, look in the mailbox, look at my mail, and walk back here. And maybe I'll pick up a few branches while I'm out there. But this is every day. Same point. It's synchronized. It's organized. Yes. Now, somebody left a comment on 2 videos ago. It was Robert. Robert, thank you for the comment. Question, actually. The question was, if I were, what would I do if I had a choice to end this program tomorrow, worldwide, or to seek justice for the perpetrators perpetrating the crimes against me and others, and seek restitution, etc. Well, I didn't have to think twice about it. But after I responded, I did think twice about it, because while I want this program to end, and I would love for it to end tomorrow, for everybody, not just me, for everybody, because nobody should be tortured for life because of some psychopaths that got their little knickers in a knot and are envious and jealous and greedy. Losers. There goes one. So my first response was, because it was my first thought, was I would end it. And I know that if it were to end, the perpetrators involved, just like O.J. Simpson. Remember when O.J. Simpson was acquitted? I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much cried. I was so upset that he was acquitted. But, you know, karma does come around, and guess what? He got picked up on tax evasion and was imprisoned. So even though he did not get incarcerated for the crimes of murdering his wife and her friend, which he should have been, he did eventually lose his freedom, and he's a nobody now. He's nobody. But everybody wants the restitution too, because I know for a fact, as a parent, if there are no consequences to an action, to negative behavior, it will persist. And that goes for people with addictions, the people that cheat on their spouses, you know, that allow it to happen repeatedly until they're caught. And like my sorry neighbors down the block, if they were arrested each time, if I had a restraining order for each time they harassed me, tormented me, tore out my gate, which they should have been done, it would not have persisted. They would have suffered the consequences of being in jail and having to pay and having a record. They would have suffered the consequences, and likely, well, you never know, they may have stopped sooner. But when you have a program like this, these community watch groups are getting funding, and people like our county lawyer and the sheriff's department do nothing but allow it to happen. There are no consequences to the actions of these criminals. So the behaviors will persist. So I'm going to revise my answer. I'm going to revise my answer. This program will not end. Even if there was a law right now, even if the FBI was taken out and that watch list was destroyed, you have to remember that everybody's name on that list was already given out to agencies and universities and all of that with no consequences. The only way that it will end is if there are consequences to the action, meaning, okay, we're going to get rid of that watch list. There will only be foreign terrorists on there, okay, from other countries that come here, serious commit crimes, murder, rape, all those things. The way it should be. Not a fake list. Not a fake list bloated with people they don't like in a revenge for hire program just because some little loser cat rescue girl in Barnegat, New Jersey has her knickers in a knot because I do it better than her. And that she's got connections to place me in a program. That should not be permitted. It should never be permitted. So I'm going to revise my answer. The only way this will end, even if there is a law, and if there are precautions, it will only end if there are repercussions. And those repercussions have to be extremely severe. And you have to hit them where it hurts, in the pocket, and prison. So the way they make us lose our freedom, they lose their freedom. The asset stripping they have done to me, they will have to forfeit everything if they participated. From what I understand, that they signed NSA letters, or I forget what the letter is called. It's escaping me right now. And that in that letter, I heard, and I don't know for sure, I've never actually seen the letter, that there is a $10,000 fine for disclosing that they signed such a thing, that they are participating, or to tell the target what's happening. Well, come on, folks. I've reported just everybody to the Attorney General's office, Criminal Division. They don't even respond. Right? Muckrock disables my account because of all the evidence I had online. You mean to tell me I'm not a targeted person? You don't have to tell me. You told me by your actions. But the thing is, there are no consequences for those actions. There's no consequences for the behavior. There's no prison time for the sheriffs that go along to get along or allow these illegal government programs into their communities because they're too greedy. They're being bribed, persuaded. So no, I'm going to change my answer. And yes, of course, I want it to shut down, but it won't. It won't without consequences. So I'm going to not change my answer. I'm going to amend my answer. So my answer is amended. That they need to shut it down and hold those accountable for having participated. And there needs to be restitution to those individuals who have been harmed. When I say harmed, I mean really harmed. Okay? And other restitution is free body scans for every targeted person to detect whether or not and how high the radiation exposure has been to those individuals and what it has done to their organs. There needs to be somebody who's not paid off to examine every targeted person for free. And it needs to be accurately recorded in writing. And if a targeted person has lost employment and been slandered in the community, all of that equals money in dollars. And it should be calculated per year, just the way these criminals are paid. Right? These paid informants, some of them get over $100,000 a year. This is why nobody works. Right? They're being paid by the government. So I'm very curious to hear your thoughts about what you would do. How would you answer the question? If tomorrow you could end this targeting program worldwide, would you choose that over seeking restitution and penalizing those who were involved? And honestly, they go hand in hand, they go together. The program will never end unless there are consequences. It will never end. Just like those 2 retired police officers who went to work at the eBay security department. And they decided to become gang stalkers, right? And harass that woman in that family in Massachusetts. Sending them dead animals in the mail, poison, torturing them. Literally, the judge said that the details of this case were so disturbing that she didn't even think she could read about them in a book or a movie. They actually had an FBI agent testify on their behalf, and of course it's closed. That's the only way they were able to get that to stop. And guess what happened to those guys? Those 2 losers. They went to prison. They did have to pay restitution and they had to perform community service. Not nearly the sentence I would have given them. Hey, but nobody made me the judge yet. No. No. Because it was premeditated. They abused their security clearances that they kept to obtain information on this couple, to torture them and take down their business, harass them. All the while they were collecting their pensions and collecting another salary at eBay. And of course, their little gang stalker salary too. They were making a big bundle of money. That's okay. Those 2 losers, they went to prison. I don't know, maybe they're coming out soon. Then there were the 3 losers in Canada. Same thing. They were finally arrested and went to prison also, but you won't find that on the internet anymore. No, because all these cops, these retired cops that got involved in gang stalking, community harassment, and you all know they're all involved, or most of them. They don't want anybody to know. It looks so bad. But hey, I know, I read something Targeted Justice said, hey, once their families know, maybe they'll stop the behavior. Do you think their families know what they do as their side hustle? I don't know, folks. If you were married to a guy like that and you found out that his side hustle was tormenting people for profit, would you stay married to that creepo? But anyway, so yes, I have amended my answer to that question. Everybody wants the program to end yesterday, but it won't. It won't there are too many hands in the kitty, too many people making profit, too many psychopaths, and there are no consequences. So it won't end. Even if there is a law telling the FBI that FISA court is no longer, there's no more FISA court, there's no more 702, there's no a terrorist screening database for non-investigative subjects. They'll just take those people and move them to another list. So you've got to hit them where it hurts. It's always the pocketbook. And I'm not talking about a little money, guys. These people are making millions of dollars on each targeted person, depending on who they are, in addition to what they're stealing from you and me. They're making millions of dollars a year, and each targeted person is worth more than that per year and should be paid more than that, including medical, housing, free medical, past medical bills, shielding, electronics that have been sabotaged. And everybody should be entitled to a full investigation. For those people that were already murdered, their families should receive restitution for losing their loved one too soon. So anyway, that's my opinion, folks. That's my answer. That's my revised answer on that question. So my laptop is still not working. And I'm going to have to get it fixed, buy a new laptop, which I didn't want to do because there was nothing wrong with my laptop. I moved it from New Jersey. It was a laptop that I hardly ever used in New Jersey. And what they did is they made it where I can't take it outside. It has to be plugged in because the battery won't charge, because they killed the battery. So that's the first thing they did, is they killed the battery. So it has to be tied to the electrical cord. And then they scratched the screen. And even with the antivirus software, that horrible software that I had removed, which should have freed up a lot of space, it's working worse than when I had the antivirus software on it that was turning itself on and scanning my laptop 4 or 5 times a day, even though it wasn't scheduled to do that. And I couldn't change it either. Yeah, so these crooks bill you 45 days in advance and then tell you only have a 30-day period to cancel. Yeah, they're really deceptive and fraudulent. And then when you write to them, they're either non-responsive or refuse to refund the money. So, yeah, so my link to provide the documentation in my contract was taken from my laptop, was taken from my email, I should say. It's gone. All of my mail from that day is gone, this July 31st. So if these things happen to you, please hit the comment section up. And also, I think it's deeply disturbing that they stole another bird, a baby. The animal cruelty is despicable. These losers. Oh, and by the way, I will be writing another cease and desist letter to that creature down the block. Yeah, I just haven't had time. There's no rush. Because the last one was 2001. I've got 2021. I've got 2022 and 2023 to add to the next list. So, folks, that's what's happening here on the homestead. It is extremely balmy. I thought it was going to rain. It's really cloudy. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't say it's supposed to rain, and I certainly hope it doesn't, because I have more grass to cut. Grass is growing like a weed. And I spent about 2.5 hours yesterday cutting the grass, which is why I haven't been around that much. But I hope everybody's doing well. So this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm going to sign off for now.